This cold frame was up all winter, and we got leeks in here, and we've got that Russian kale that I've written about before. You can see how nice this stuff looks. This wintered over, and we had down to close to 0, but in the cold frame it would have stayed probably 10 degrees or so warmer overnight. The kale that was outside lasted, but then it didn't have quite the hardiness that this does. The trick about growing this stuff or keeping it alive into the winter is you want the plant to grow to size before the cold weather comes, because it's not going to grow when it's cold. It's just going to sustain. But then here we got leeks coming here that we wintered over, and they feel good. They're not too big. They were kind of small when we put them in the ground last summer, and they didn't take off as well as they could have. Some leeks, you know, they'll get fairly big diameter, but these are fairly small. But I still got potatoes in the root cellar, and so we'll make leek and potato soup this spring. I got another cold frame here. Got mainly lettuce in it, just mixed lettuce that we put in. Put it in late last summer, early fall, and let it grow, and then it wintered over pretty good too. So the lettuce it's small, but it's good and it's tasty. So we're getting lettuce out of here. I expect it'll grow. Here's a little spinach that we had in there. That looks a little rough, but it's spinach. It's pretty good. In fact, now we got spinach coming outside here. This just came back all by itself. I don't believe that it came up, or that it made it through the winter outside of the cold frame. Here's my Honeycrisp apple tree. I put it in a year ago last fall. It's budding now. We got fruit last summer, but not very large fruit. And of course we had problems with worms in the apples. We're going to try spraying this year with dormant oil, and then we'll also try spraying with compost tea or worm tea, and most likely the worm tea, which seems to protect the leaves pretty well. Seems to protect foliage pretty well anyway. We've sprayed potato and tomato plants when they've shown a hint of blight in the past, and we spray worm tea on it, and we'll do a bit on worm tea. We won't have time to do it right now. I also wanted to straighten the tree because it was a little bowed, a little crooked, and so I've got a rope here and an old belt, and then I took a stick and twisted it into the rope. You can see my fancy system here. I can just twist the stick around and around to pull this tight, and then I got a C-clamp down here. I slide the back end of the stick into the C-clamp so it holds it in place so it can't come unraveled, and then I periodically pull it a little more. But right now the tree's looking pretty good as far as straight, and it's a healthy tree.